today we're being joined by Paige Dodunski from the West Perth WAFLW Football Club. Paige, thanks for coming on.
For having me.
No worries. Now, some people with pronunciations with last names, I'm normally really good at this, but for some reason I feel like I've been butchering a few lately. Can you please, just for clarity, confirm your last name and how you pronounce it for everyone and myself?
Surname's Dodunski.
Dodunski. Okay. So close enough, I think. Now, Paige, tell us a bit about yourself, what kind of got you into footy and what type of player you are.
I started footy in year 7, so first year of high school.
Yeah.
Because primary school, all of my mates, like all of my guy mates, were all into footy. Because I grew up like playing netball, and my parents are New Zealand, so kind of rugby was the sport of the family. So
yeah,
haven't really grown up with it from a young age. So started year 7 because girls in my year at school, we had the Dockers Cup, and came up for it because all of them were doing it, and I absolutely loved it. So I wanted to get into it in the winter season. Still playing until now.
That's good. So how would you say, what position would you say you'd play on the footy field?
I'm in defence, so I normally am starting in fullback.
Nice. So do you feel any added pressure, though, Paige, playing as a key defender role each week, considering you're more than likely going to get the best player of the opposition's forward line as well?
Yeah, a lot of pressure, especially when a lot of their leading goal kickers are full forwards. It's definitely to tag them, especially knowing how good they are. Like, it's definitely a massive challenge to go up.
That's right. Now, obviously, the reason on the banner I've got a premiership player on here because, Paige, you may have won another premiership on the weekend a few weeks ago, and you must be pretty proud to go back to back as well.
It's surreal. Like, it's amazing to be able to win it the first year last year and then be able to win it again this year and go back to back. It's amazing. Like, you just can't explain the feeling of it when that final siren goes. Awesome.
That's right. So, how were the conditions though? I've seen pictures and clips and everything like that, and looked like a bit of a shit show in terms of the conditions, at least. That's not Perth-like.
No, literally. I was like, the day before was all sunny and good weather, and then rocked up to the game, and it was just pouring down with rain, puddles everywhere. It was a mud. So definitely a dirtier game coming out of it, not being as clean as you normally are and covered in mud. Yeah.
That's right. Must have been pretty proud, though, to keep Subiaco aside, who made the grand final against you girls, and keep them scoreless.
Yeah, honestly, they put up a massive fight as well. Like, it wasn't easy, definitely. Like, there could have been so many times we just all had to keep our composure, how we set up, just keep all of our gameplay in plan, and it just happened to work out that way, which is amazing. But yeah.
And that's good. So do you feel like, though, the weather individually kind of helped you? Because as you said, with the key forwards normally generally leading the Coleman, it made it much harder conditions for them to take clean marks and everything like that.
Yeah, definitely. Like, so much more slippery. Like, Grippo was definitely my best friend, and it was just everyone was slipping, sliding, the ball would bounce directions or not bounce at all, and couldn't see half the time when it was raining. So definitely the weather had a bit of an impact on that game for sure.
It just looked like that you were basically at Wet and Wild or some of those bloody theme parks. It felt like. No,
literally, I was half the time standing in puddles. Like, I took my boots off at the end, and it was so wet. Oh, my socks, game soggy, and
yeah. Well, it's be interesting because it's a game that you kind of probably in the grand scheme of things, that was a general home and away game. It'd be one of those games where you say, let's just forget about it. But you can't really forget about this one because it's the grand final. And how did you feel going into that game, though, Paige? Because obviously going into grand final for anyone, or even a general game, some people get nervous. How were you going into a granny?
I was definitely nervous, and I can say I reckon most of the girls were as well. Definitely nervous because I went and watched Subi play in their prelim as well, leading up to the grand final. And they have really good ball work. Their forwards, just looking from a back's perspective for me, I was like looking at their forwards and they were doing really, obviously it's going to strike up some nerves because I'm like, oh gosh, I've got to make sure I'm on my game to try and lock as much as I can. So definitely nerves built up, and I was very nervous siren went, I was just so excited to be out there and playing.
That's good. I'm glad you mentioned too about kind of like doing an oppo analysis type thing when you mentioned watching Super the week prior. I don't think a lot of people, not even at your age, but even older, they don't really put much effort into kind of studying the opposition. Because when I talk to some players from a whole range of leagues and the whole range of ages, they don't really say they do that. But it's very smart, I feel, like what you mentioned there, to do that, because you kind of want to get a gist of how some of the players that you're going to end up lining up on are going to play like. And not just rock up and go, oh, shit, I didn't know this. Well, maybe if you followed the look, you might know.
Yeah, exactly. It definitely helped. Like I had my little notes page written up and I would just write little reminders for me to keep an eye on, like what boot, left-footed kicker, right-footed kicker, where they not, all of those little things just kind of help you get a little bit of an idea of what you might be going into. So
that's right. That's good. So, and then how was the aftermath in the grand final, in the most recent one anyway?
Honestly, it was amazing. Like just going up on stage with all the girls and having the cup and banner in front of us, it was surreal. And then back up in the club rooms, just reminiscing and just looking back on the game that we had just had and the fact that we were back-to-back grand finalists and premiership winners. Pretty amazing. And then we all had a big celebration, but I couldn't go because 2 hours later after the game, I was on a flight to Bali. So yeah.
You mustn't have been the only one going there, because I swear the Claremont girls in the league side, they shipped off the day after as well. Is this now a Perth thing that you should play granny, win or loss, and you ship off within a day with even that?
No, literally. I actually saw a couple of the Claremont girls in Bali as well. Saw them. So yeah.
That's good. So if you were to overall assess your season, Paige, how would you individually assess your own season?
Individually, like assessing being completely honest, I reckon I started off a little slow, just trying to find my rhythm and stuff, like being around new girls, new faces coming up in other teams. Like I'm not up against girls I've been up against in the year before or 2 years before that. So I definitely started a little slow. I came off ankle reconstruction last year. So definitely tried to find my way of playing footy and just trying to get back into it. So I think I started a little slow, but once I fully got into it, I was quite happy with some and most of the games that I was playing. So yeah.
That's good. In terms of, though, both premierships, how would you rank both, Paige, and which one do you feel was the better of the two?
Oh gosh, I reckon both of them are great in different aspects. In the 20 grand final was scary, very. It was very, came down to the last couple minutes as well. So definitely big on adrenaline for me, I would say. The most rewarded, or I felt I played a better game in the 2023 grand final than I did in the this year's one. So I feel for me individually, 2023 was better for my game of footy, but both are equally as rewarding and so fun, and just the playing them is just amazing.
That's good to know. Now, obviously, the league girls obviously made the way. I think it was to a prelim off the top of my head. I think it was. So they got just so close. Is that a league side, Paige? Obviously, you want to aim to get into for next season?
Yes, I'm going to be trialing for league next year. And definitely scary because the talent in that team is just phenomenal. Like looking back on it 3 years ago to now, the progress they've made is just absolutely incredible, and I'm so happy for all of them, and I'm just hoping that I can come join them next year.
That's good. Who would you say some of your favorite teammates at the club?
Oh my god, I love all the girls. I love them all. I just think I'm more closer with some of them, and that's like Molly Conroy, Emily McGinn, Jakala Garlett, Sienna Hay, and all those girls. Like I just love all of them. They're all so good to be around, and you just have a good chat, a good laugh with any of them. So I wouldn't say favorite. I'd just be closer with some of them.
No, that's fair. No, and good. You worded that very, very well and very nicely at the start. Like them all, but and then just go off. That's a very smart way to word it. Now, speaking of teammates still, or just Miles mentioned all these teammate questions. Who loves the limelight, the attention, the camera at the club, and they can't get enough of it, and they know what they're doing when cameras are around?
Oh, gosh. No, that's tricky, actually. I would say they attention of it. I say they more so know what they're doing around it, like they know how to stuff like that. They always put the best performance on for everyone, and that would be our captain, Hayley Bitterfeld. I think she just phenomenal. Like every game you watch her, and it's just absolutely incredible. I wouldn't say for attention or anything like that. I would just say she just amazing, plays an amazing game of footy, and is awesome to watch at all when we watch our game back, and she's just incredible.
That's good. I mean, I had Hayley on not too long ago, only about a week or two ago, and it was just so great for her to see, win a league best and fairest in the Rogers by like 21 votes or something. So how proud are you of her, and where do you think she can take her footy? Because, 21 votes, I mean, no matter what league it is, that's a big bloody gap on second place and everyone else after that.
Oh, 100%. I'm incredibly proud of Hayley, and I'm so happy that she's our captain this year. She's done phenomenal. Couldn't thank her for enough. She's always there. You can always have a good chat to her and everything. I'm so proud of her, and she can take her footy so far, like into league, like draft, I reckon. Like I've already asked for it in hope that it'll go there. So I'm wishing her the absolute best, and so honoured to play with her. So
that's right. And that's the best start in the Rogers to win a league, being up by that much. Who would you say is the best chatterbox at the club?
Oh, best chatterbox. Someone that could chat. I'd have to say someone who loves a good chat would be Taya Nicholson. Always always hear her having a good little chat. Even somebody has to quiet us all down. So I think she would always have a good chat. It's always good to have a chat with Taya as well. She's a lovely girl, like really nice. I would say Taya.
That's a good choice. Loudest and quietest teammates?
Loudest and quietest. I'd say quietest would be Jamara, and you'd see her out on the footy field and she just absolutely dominates. She goes after everyone. She doesn't hold back, but at training, trying to get a word out of her, she's just more of a quieter achiever.
Yes.
Yeah. And then for loud, I feel like, gosh, who's really loud? I'd like to say Bella Hill. She's quite a loud, outgoing individual. It's always encouraging words you'll hear shouted out on the field, off the field, and everything. So.
Nice. No, that's right. I mean, just because you're loud doesn't mean necessarily. I always tell everyone it doesn't mean it's a bad thing at all. It can always mean a good thing more than bad sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely good to know that you have some girls out in the field that are going to be loud to be able to tell you, like, oh, you're good.
Exactly.
Words of encouragement.
That's right. Well, that's what I mean. You do need to be loud on the footy field. You can't really be quiet because then you might, like, if someone's getting about to get run down and the person that's quiet is the one meant to tell you, it's like, well, whatever. But no, that's good. Now, if you're stuck on a deserted island, Paige, with teammates, who would you bring and not bring, and why?
Who would I bring and not bring, and why? God, if I was stuck on a desert island, I'd bring Emily McGinn. I feel like she'd be fun. And Molly Conroy, I would also bring her. We go camping all the time, and I reckon would survive pretty well with having Molly there with us. Who I wouldn't bring, God, probably one of my good mates, Jakyla Garlett. She's so funny and clumsy, so it would probably end up tripping over, or I don't know, just not sure.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair enough. If your teammates were to describe you, Paige, in a word or a sentence, how would they describe you?
Oh God, I'd hope they'd describe me as someone that they can come and talk to about anything, and just positive outlook on. I would hope.
That's good. Yes, right. You'd hope. Last one from a teammate's point of view. What was it? Had a complete blank. most underrated teammates. Who's some teammates that you feel that fly under the radar a little bit, Paige, and don't get talked about as much as you feel they should?
Definitely one of my all-time favorites is Sophie Fisher. I definitely is one of our quieter players, but God, put her on a footy field and she does amazing. Like, she's absolutely outstanding. Definitely a quiet achiever, I would say. Like, going last year, I think she was in like the top 5 of best and fairest counts at West Perth, and girls don't notice her, but she does so much for our team on the field and is absolutely amazing.
You know, that's exactly what you want. Now, what nicknames, Paige, do you get at the club that you like or dislike?
So I've had 2. Either people call me by my surname, so they'll call me Dodunski, which I do love. I love it when they call me that. And then I've had Dodo because I'm Kiwi and it runs with my surname. Haven't been the biggest fan of that, and I haven't been able to fully like grow on it. It hasn't
Yeah.
me. Dodunski's stuck with me, and I quite enjoy that one.
No, that's good. Dodunski. There we go. Right. So now, coaches' pets. Is there any coaches' pets at the club?
No, I wouldn't say so. I think we're all pretty even. I wouldn't say any coaches' pets, no.
That's good. Leadership aspirations, Paige. Is that something that you ever wanted to get into, or something that you have been in?
Yeah, 100%. Just looking at how Bitters and Abby Brimson has done it in the past and how Hayley's doing it now, is they do it phenomenal. Like, I'd like to think I could, but I'm happy being in the leadership group this year, which has been an honour to be voted on by my teammates, which was pretty cool to be able to be up in a leadership position, which I haven't done in the past. So it was the first thing for me. Hopefully that went well and everyone thought that went well, I hope.
That's good. Who would you say is the toughest opponent you've ever had to match up on, Paige? Now, you do your notes, so I'm sure you may know some names, if not a team. Who would you say is your toughest opponent you've had to ever match up on at any level?
Oh, toughest. I always have a good fight with Nicole Taylor Thorpe from South Fremantle. It's me and her, and she's always a couple times kicked a good couple on me and done really well. Otherwise, I'd say Alira Fotu as well is from South Freo. She played a game of footy last year and was definitely hard to match up on a couple of times. Just her kicking phenomenal.
That's good. And 2 players from the one team, which is great to their team as well. So which AFL or AFLW team do you grow up supporting?
I support Freo. I've been a Freo Dockers supporter for a fairly long time, through thick and thin. Like, I love that club. In AFLW and AFL, I support them both. So
that's good. For some weird reason, Paige, I get all these mixed answers now through both leagues. I hear some people say they go for, say, hypothetically, Freo in the men's. Then they say like West Coast in the women's. Like, I just don't understand how you could do something like that. I know one team was in before the other, yada yada yada, but I find it a bit interesting.
Yeah, it definitely is when you hear people go for 2 different teams and 2 different like types of footy. It's definitely funny. I've always just grown up watching Freo men, and then when Freo women's became a thing and stuff, I'd just watch them instead. Like, I would just follow through with it.
That's good. Who would you say some of your favourite players are those in those Freo teams?
In the men's, I've always loved Caleb Sarong. I've loved Jordan Clark, and just watching like Brennan Cox and Luke Ryan play, because they play in this position I play as well. So being able to watch them was pretty cool. And then in the women's, I've always loved Kiara Bowers and Hayley Miller. They've always been like an idol I'd look up to, is them two, and been able to meet both of them. I have met them. So it's
That's good. I was going to say, was there any AFL, AFLW player interactions you've had as a fan that are memorable or forgettable? I'm sure then meeting Kiara Bowers and Hayley Miller would be definitely one then.
Definitely. Like, I went to the Freo's scratch match last year where they played down at South Fremantle Oval against Port Adelaide, I believe. And after the game, I met most of the men's players, which was pretty surreal. I was fangirling a lot with my fellow teammates. Molly Conroy, we're both Freo fans, so we went to that game and then saw all the girls sitting there, like Hayley Miller and all of those, and so we went up and said hello, got a picture with them, and that was a pretty surreal like feeling. I messaged Hayley Miller afterwards, just thanking her for being so like nice and kind and all of that, and she replied back to me, which was also pretty cool.
Oh, that's right. No, you know that's great, Paige, and it's credits for Hayley for doing that, because I feel like a lot of players this is not about Freo, this is just in general in men's, women's, or any league for that matter. They don't understand how important writing back a message or taking a photo with someone that can leave a good memory for someone else, no matter the age. You know, I don't think they understand it. And I tried telling something, because I've gotten to know a fair few well now over the last few years. And it's like, it means a lot more than you may think. To them, it's like just that here's another photo, that's another one. But yeah, to the other person on the other side who's wanting it, it means so much more than they actually realise.
Oh, 100%. Like, I have a footy in my room that's been signed by all the Freo men, and it's up on display, as well as the hat that Brennan Cox gave me. And just having those photos on my phone is just awesome. Like, incredible. To them, it may just be like, oh, it's just another photo. But then to me, it's like, oh my God, I've just met my idol in footy and I've got a photo with them. Like, it's definitely cool for me to have, even though it might just be like it's a photo to them. But them going out their way, I really appreciate it. Like, just going, we can have a photo, and some of them even continue out a little conversation with me. And I think that's pretty cool. Take the time out of their day to come and see some of us fans and talk to us. Oh.
No, that's right. That's spot on, and that's another thing on top of the photo or message or something. Having a conversation can show, and it, to me at least, when I speak to someone that I may know myself, but they may not know, obviously, it's like it means a lot more. Like recently, I'll go talk to someone that I've seen out, and they'll talk for a couple of minutes, and it shows they actually do care. Because you might get a random one that might just say one word, yeah, hey, or whatever. But if they stop, and they make that conversation, it shows that they do genuinely care, and that's what is good about it.
Yeah, 100%. Like, just not the little come get a photo, nothing said, walk off. Like, definitely going to go get a photo with them, and they're like, oh, how you going? Or just get into a good little conversation with them. Like, it's a surreal feeling to us as fans for them. Like, it's like I wouldn't stop talking about it for days after I'd get a hug or that they held a conversation with me. Like, I'd go home and tell them about it. So it's definitely.
No, I remember. I know exactly what you mean with examples like that. All right, so what are some fun facts about you, Paige, that people may not know about you?
Oh, fun facts about me. Well, me, my brother, and my sister are the only part of our family that was born in Australia. Everybody else is living and over in New Zealand. I grew up very centered on netball and rugby. Didn't really about or really like footy, but now I couldn't think about my life without it. Like, I have so much love for this sport. It's absolutely crazy. So, God, facts that no one would know. I did state athletics. I was state relay runner.
Nice.
Yeah, don't think many people would know that, but I did stop it. I did love it, but I just coach now, which is pretty cool. So I coach athletics in the off season.
Oh yeah. How is the coaching side of things? You obviously been on the other shoe. I know it's a different sport, but you've been on the other shoe, obviously, and still are playing. But then on the other side, now you kind of understand what both roles are like when some of your coaches for footy and how they operate, knowing that you've had to do that in some other sport as well.
Yeah, 100%. Hats off to our coaches at West Perth. Like, I love all of them. They all do incredible and always put us girls first. It's insane. And then being able to be a coach at athletics, like, I coach little kids from under 6s to up until normally under 15s. So being able to help younger kids in a right direction or somewhat help them so they can learn from it and hopefully benefit their like events that they would do weekend and all that. Back and tell me all about it. Tell me about states. And it's a pretty good feeling being able to have that impact in someone's life around sport and try to be better. So I think that's pretty cool.
No, that's really good. And then on the other side of that, you got defenders. Now, you're obviously being a defender, Paige, and I always talk about, and I love asking this question. I'm going to know the answer to this because you're a defender, and rightfully so when you say this, but I feel like they deserve more love and what they truly get at any level, in particular AFL and AFLW. Obviously the forwards got a Coleman, mids got a Brownlow, rucks get recognised in Brownlow votes these days. Do you defenders, Paige, deserve your own official title of an award as well?
Look, it'd be pretty cool. I think in the first year, we had best defender, which not when I was in Rogers Cup, but I think the year before that, their first year, I think they had a best defender, which was pretty cool to see that being there, because obviously you've got, like, you normally have your Coleman, your leading goal kicker, or your best and fairest, which is normally taken out by a midfielder. But I think, yeah, it would be pretty cool, I reckon, because it's definitely not hard, definitely not easy being a defender, definitely really hard, and the pressure is insane. But yeah, it would be cool, I reckon, to see one of those awards be like a award in
it definitely would be. What are some of your favorite TV shows or movies and outside of footy interests that you have?
Gosh, favorite TV show, I've been a sucker for Criminal Minds lately.
I've been
watching that a bit too much than I should. Movies, I kind of put on any like horror or thriller type of movies at the moment. Comedy, so probably none in particular. I kind of just find one and roll with it. Interests outside of footy, like I love going to the gym. I love the beach, like going down to the beach with a good group of mates or my family. It's really cool, and just outdoors and doing stuff like going camping and all of that. Also really fun.
And that's good. I'm not surprised you mentioned the beach, because that's a Perth thing. I mean, I'm now more shocked, to be honest, when a Perth person doesn't mention the beach at this point, with the generally good weather outside of that grand final day.
Yeah, 100%. When the weather's good, the beach is on, like it's awesome. But when the weather's how it is now and pouring down with rain and not so much, I'll stay indoors or go do something else.
That's fair enough. You mentioned about watching horror, and I'm intrigued here. Would you be one that you obviously can handle it by watching it, but would you watch one of those horror shows or movies at night when it's dark?
I watch most of them alone in my room late at night, to be honest with you. With my dad, me and my dad always have a little thing where we'll watch horror movies together in one of our rooms, normally late at night as well, like something it's dark. Watch them during the day. I feel like it's definitely like a nighttime thing.
That's good. Yeah, no, I'm the same too. Paige, with that, but I wouldn't have recommended it back a long time ago when you're like maybe 14 or something. That's when it really gave me the it sometimes depends what it was, I guess, especially when it's unexpected, like a scene where it's like where someone's got an axe or something and they just jump out and you go, oh, fuck. And then you're like, I ain't watching this anymore, turn it off or get it off.
I've definitely done that times where I've had a jump scare in the first 10 minutes and turned it straight off. I've definitely had that before, so I 100%
wouldn't be alone there. That's good. Now, what do you feel, Paige, is the best individual game of footy that you've ever played at any point in time?
Like my best game, personally?
Yeah.
I would like to say I reckon I left everything out in that grand final last year, in the 2023 grand final. I reckon came off that field really happy with how I played. I think that's the happiest I've been coming off a ground, which was pretty cool. And to have my coaches back me up and say that that was one of the best games and one of my really good games that year was definitely incredible. And I would have to say last year's grand final, I reckon I played my best game of footy.
That's good. Have you always played as a defender, or have you ever ventured down the other side where all the goals happen?
I have, yeah. When I first started in year 7, I was a forward and a midfielder. And until I did my first season of Rogers in 2022. I debuted as a forward as well. And then I think my third game, I got moved to the back line because we had lack of numbers there. And honestly, I wouldn't change it. I love playing as a defender now.
No, that's good. Did you get a chance to score any goals before that switch?
I did. On my debut game, I scored a goal, which was pretty
nice.
Feeling like having all the girls come up to you that I didn't know very well because I joined quite late as well in the off season. So having that, I think kicking that goal was pretty cool. So I've kicked a couple, which is pretty cool. I had a couple games last year where I think I played a couple quarters, if not half in forward, where I did kick a couple of goals. I think I kicked one, which was cool. But as of now, I've cemented in backline.
That's good. If you could kick This can be as unrealistic as you want here, Paige. If you could kick the best goal you would love to ever get, adding the distance, the angle, the moment, the occasion, how would you best describe the best goal you would love to ever get?
Don't know if it'd be achievable. I'd have to practice a lot. But if I could pick to have my goal, it would be, I reckon, close to the boundary line. I would say it would be, probably go a bit further than what I can kick, but probably like 35, 40 meters out. That'd be pretty cool spot if I could kick accurately that far for goals. And I would say after the siren goal, like take a mark right there and be able to kick one of those and win by it. That'd be surreal. I think I'd be able to.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Just a general drop punt or a check side or a snap?
Depends how bad the angle is. I'd like to say I could do a snap, but I definitely couldn't. So I'd do a snap on the boundary line, not goal. I could do that, but I'd probably have to just drop punt it, knowing me.
That's fair enough. Now, mark or goal of the year, which one would you rather do and why?
Mark or goal, I would say more realistic as a defender. Mark of the year would be pretty cool. I've always dreamed of taking an absolute screamer or a specky on somebody and marking that. So you see the AFL, like you see Bobby Hill or Jamie Elliott, who are now for mark of the year. Like if I could jump up like that and mark a ball, it would be pretty cool. So I'd mark of the year over goal of the year.
That's fair enough. And would you be one to post a page if you were to get a good mark or goal of the year contender?
If I fully won it at the end of the year, yeah, I'd put it on.
Oh, well, even if it's just a good one, it doesn't have to necessarily win it. But yeah, okay. If you won it, would you post it?
If I won it, I would. If it was just a good mark or not, I'd probably clip it on Huddle and send it to the coaches. Normally do. We make clips after our game, but I wouldn't post it.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, honestly, I feel like sometimes though, if it is genuinely a great goal or a great mark, I feel like I'd have to automatically post it. I feel like, I mean, unless you do it every week, unless your name's Eddie Betts and kick goal of the year or contenders every year, or Jeremy Howe taking hangers all the time. I mean, yeah, it's a rare thing in a way. I would personally, I mean, I do goal kicking challenges, so I'll post it anyway. So stock standard rubbish goals, misses from the goal square, misses from 20 meters out. I mean, when you do a challenge, I mean, you have to post it. I can't cut certain bits out.
Oh, 100%. You got to keep the good ones and the bad ones, definitely.
Oh, well, the scores won't match up if I cut the bad bits out. If I get it behind, then I'm losing points by not adding it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that too. All right. So some of the most prized possessions, Paige, that you own.
Ooh, prized possession that I own. Ooh, that's tricky. Something that I absolutely would be like those medals and trophies from sports.
Yes.
Love, like I've got them all hanging up on my room on a shelf and on a hanger. Like I think those are pretty cool to have.
Yes, they would be.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, gosh, I'm trying to look around and see something, but I love a lot of the things I have. I'm most prized. I would just say all of these trophies. Sorry.
No, you're right. You're good. Would that include, Paige, the background picture, the Guernsey at the back?
It would. This was a Christmas presents.
Nice.
I got my jersey framed from last year, so I've got that, which actually would probably be one of my favorite things as well. Pointing out about that, I completely forgot, but they're pretty cool because I didn't ask for much for my birthday, and then I on my birthday, and it was really cool. I loved it. So
No, that definitely would be a good one to have for sure. All right, now this is the hot topic food questions, Paige. I don't understand what's wrong with people in Australia. They get so worked up, right, over all these certain food names, pronunciations, what doesn't belong on something, what does belong on something. Now, for context, Paige, I've asked well over 150 people these questions, and only 8 people have said the wrong, illogical answer for this first question, as there is only one answer. The lowest amount of scores that anyone's ever gotten is 3. A bunch of people on 3. I lost count at this point, probably over 70% of people. And then only 13 people have got all 6 questions correct to how I would answer them. How do you feel you would go?
Oh, I'd hope I would agree with you on some, if not most, but We'll see.
Yeah. Now, no one, as I said, no one's ever got under 3. So you don't want to be on this blank honours board that doesn't actually an honours board, but it might be one day if someone ends up getting less because no one's gotten less. But we'll see how you go there. As long as you get the first one, I'm happy. The first one. But if you don't, it's okay. Then you'll have to pick it up in the rest. Chicken palmy. Is it a palmy or is it something else?
Chicken palmy, not a
Good.
palmer. For other people say.
Nope. You're right. It's spot on. I'm glad you said that because another thing which could have been more added pressure. No Perth person I've had on, which is a lot as well. None have said the opposite. So everyone said that answer, and that's the only answer. I give people 2 reasons to explain why it is, and it's pretty basic. Spell it out and pronounce it. Pretty obvious. It's an I.
I agree.
I've impressed myself with those 2 reasons because I converted 2 people that said that stupid answer, and the people that did say that, I tell them, why is that the reason? Then they go, it just is. So in other words, you're just making shit up as you go.
Excuses.
Yes, excuses. Absolutely. Right. Pineapple on a pizza, yes or no?
Yeah, absolutely love pineapple on a pizza.
Yeah, man, that's okay. At least you got the main one, like I said. That's fine. 1 for 2. Tomato sauce, cabinet or fridge?
I put it in the fridge. Yeah.
Okay, I don't mind either way, so I'll give you that. 2 for 3. Favorite food?
Ooh, like snack, dinner? Or...
Yeah, anything. Yeah, it can be lollies, it could be food, it could be a restaurant food, anything.
Oh, my mum makes the best chicken pesto pasta, so that would probably have to be up there.
Okay. I'm in the middle with that. I want to go no. I'll go no. So that's okay. 2 for 4. If you just need one more. Food you don't like.
Food I don't like. I don't like anchovies and things like that. I think those are disgusting.
Okay. Again, I'm stuck in the middle with this one. I'll give you this one. Now you're safe. You're safe. No honours board for Paige. The last one from the food side of things. Favorite takeaway place.
Ooh, favorite takeaway. I'm not big on like Macca's and all of those fast food chains, so I definitely wouldn't say those. Okay. We always for dinner, if it was for dinner or stuff, if I had to for takeaway, we always do like Cultures in Joondalup, like a Chinese takeout, which is a good one. Like mum and dad love it, we all love it, so that's definitely one. Or like a soup place.
Okay. All right, so we got a go-to order there.
Ooh, it really depends. Sometimes I'm feeling like a good chicken soup with chicken broth, all of that. Otherwise, sometimes just like classic fried rice and chicken satay and stuff like those.
Nice. Go the classic answer. That's the classic way to get you a point. So 4 for 6, not bad, Paige. No honours board. All right. So, favorite app on your phone.
Ooh, favorite app. I have ones that I use regularly, like my Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Those ones.
Yeah.
Be those, because as much as I'd hate to be on it as much as I am, it's definitely one. Definitely the ones that I use most of my time when I'm on my phone would be those 3.
No, so that's good. What's something someone does at the club, Paige, that you can't stand, whether that's just leaving rubbish around, just being flat out annoying, jump scaring people like the movies do? Is there anything of that ticks you off that someone does or a group of people do?
Oh, I've been scared a couple times. And definitely does scare me. I can get jump scared very easily. So be those jump scares. Otherwise, I don't really think many of our girls do anything that's like out of pocket and not like I feel like we're all pretty good on that. Like no one leaves rubbish around and all of that. Like we all clean up after ourselves most of the time. So
yeah. Nice, that's good. Celebrity crush.
Oh, okay. At the moment, it's Lando Norris, F1 driver for McLaren. Definitely love what. So he would probably be mine at the moment.
Very nice. All right. So it's going to be an interesting way. This could really go any which way. Game day superstitions. Is there any game day superstitions, Paige, that you must have polled to?
Yes, I have actually you, to be honest with you. So
Go on. Yeah,
some
go
of them
on.
strain. So whether it's game day or training, I always put exactly 14 ice cubes in my water bottle.
Okay.
Couldn't explain to you why 14. I've just done it one day, had a good training or a good game, and I've stuck with it. And I was like, no, I'm not changing. I'll do that. I always only double knot my right shoe and single knot my left shoe when I put my shoes
Okay.
on.
Yeah.
And before I get out of my car, arrive at the game day, I always have to have my AirPods already in my ears before I take a step out of my car. I don't know. It's just a little thing that I've just done, and it's like I don't think about it. I just do it. Like come game day. So.
That's all right. Some interesting ones, but I think they're ones that can easily be done. Like, for example, some people that have some where it like kind of involves another restaurant or coffee shop or whatever, or a certain food that you might need. Because once if you didn't have it or the shop was closed, you can be screwed in a way, especially if you have to do it.
Yeah, 100%. Like sometimes my little sister likes to take ice as well for her water bottle, and sometimes I might not get enough ice, or it'll just be in the nick of time where the ice will freeze and I'll just have it in time and I'll panic a little. But so no, it's good if it's nice and easy little superstition.
No. That's good. Any favorite music that you have?
Definitely more of a pop person. I'd listen to a lot of pop, a bit of rap, especially before games. I'm rap, but I listen to like The Weeknd and all of those.
Yeah, okay, nice. What jumper number do you wear, and is there any jumper number significance? Is there any significance, behind the jumper number that you have?
No, there isn't. I've been number 19 this year and last year. In my first Rogers, I was number 48, but and then being number 19, it stuck with me. There was no significance to me, like out of footy besides.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just been given to me, and I've liked it, to be honest. And one of my mates is number, so we're 18, 19, which is
really nice. Side by side.
Yeah, exactly. Side by side.
Side by side. They stick together, as the Collingwood song would say. All right. So now I have 2 more questions for you. So real pressure coming on, Paige. So name 3 famous people, dead or alive, you would like to go to dinner with.
Ooh. I think obviously I would go with my celebrity crush, Lando Norris. Who'd have to be one of them.
Yeah.
I would do Tom Holland, actor. I've loved movies for years. So I think that would be really cool. And I'd probably put The Weeknd in there as well. Like he's phenomenal. Love his music. So that'd be pretty cool to actually sit down and have dinner with them.
No, nice. That'd be good. You have your crush and you have all those in between. It's a smart way to go about it, because when I've asked both questions to most people, they'll say the crush, but then when they say the dinner bit, they don't mention the crush, which I find interesting. I mean, you would think it'd be logical, because as soon as you said that, I'm thinking, so she's going to mention it for this too. I mean, it just makes sense, doesn't it? If they're the crush, why wouldn't you want them there? Isn't the whole point of having a crush on them to want them there?
Yeah, exactly. Like, first name that popped ahead in my mind was him. Like, it'd be crazy to actually meet him.
Absolutely would be. Now, the last one I got for you, appreciate you coming on. So, if you're in charge, Paige, of the WAFL, it's a 2-part question. If you're in charge of the WAFLW CEO, you're in charge for a day, Paige, what rule would you be adding and or removing? And on top of that, what does West Perth mean to you?
Okay, I'll start with the first part. I reckon if I would get rid of anti-density rule.
Yes.
I think, well, with our setup at West Perth, we normally set up using anti-density. Like we'll set up like 1, but I definitely think it's annoying when you step out of the 50 center and you have to quickly run back so you don't give away a free. So I definitely get rid of that, because I think many are frustrated by it. So West Perth, I couldn't even put into words how much that club means to me. Like what they've done for me the past 3 years that I've been at West Perth is insane. Like I wouldn't imagine moving anywhere else. Like West Perth is where I want to be and take my footy further. And I'm glad that that's the team that I am and club that I'm playing for and progressing in my footy career. And all of that, and I'm happy that that's with them, like the opportunities they give you and the support that you have there. Like there's amazing support, not just by your coaches, but by the people that work in the background and people that are there for you if you need a chat and all of those. Like it's really like inviting, like the environment that's really good.
That's awesome, Paige. It's been a pleasure having you on. All the best for the upcoming season later on next year, earlier on next year, I should say. And can the club go back to back to back? But you may have to do that in the league side due to the fact of passing out of the Rogers Cup. But Paige, it's been a pleasure having you on, and all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
No, anytime.